Continue on with our video and part. Now this is part 3. So economy is really important, which includes the necessary printing of money and distribution of money, as well as kind of managing economy. But there's no private companies really kind of work for money. Government doesn't really. Government's more about service than private companies because government's elected whoever. The private companies are not like whoever elected a private company before. I know they compete, but the citizens elect them. No, politicians elect them, and politicians usually are not blamed for private company failures. So what do we do about that? I know people may protest, but usually politicians could hide that stuff before elections. So still yet, private companies managing the economy can be good in some ways and bad too, but private companies are known to be competitive, so they would actually find ways to make their products more competitive and increase the national GDP, but at a cost too. So we need some economic development too, but not totally. So I guess some private assistance can actually be helpful in the economy, but not all too. But you never know what could happen. Fire department. Why should we privatize this? Because this is a necessary service. Like if we had a private fire department, who would you call when your building was burning down? Would you have to pay for a fire subscription? Would you have to pay to call them? How would they charge you? Well, too bad. If you don't have your fire subscription or can't pay for the fire department, they don't come and help you. But that would be in a private fire department. But if it was a public fire department, they would have to help you regardless. And plus, this would be cheaper too because, how much would it cost to have let's see, 3 fire stations for an entire block? How much would that cost? And guess what? With the private system, who's paying for it? You are. But with the public system, there's going to be 1 fire station for every block, and it's going to be cheaper, and probably with much more effectiveness. Because, if you don't have the subscription to a fire company or can't pay for it, then they won't send anyone. And so you have stuff there, but they won't help. So it's like, really not helpful. Roads can be privatized, but not fully, because what if your road was privatized and let's say you forgot to pay your road bill and all of a sudden you can't drive out of your own driveway. But I understand there too, but we should have some public roads too. Yeah. But privatization can also make roads better too. Like toll roads are usually better than public roads because toll roads actually have an accountability to their people too. Because if you can't secure the toll road and give it quality, then no one's going to take it. So they have accountability with that. Transportation. Government transit just gets the job done. It's not really effective or anything like that, but it's cheap and affordable. But if private companies were to run the public transit system, it'd be efficient though, effective, but it costs more because without government subsidies, they have to actually do quality. They have to bring quality to public transit so people take them instead of drive, which actually be good for transportation, but not really necessarily good for the poor people. And we still need to consider the poor people because they're kind of the basis of our economy. The environment. The environment is really important because, let's face it, the environment affects almost all of the quality of life, including health and a number of things. Will a private company protect the environment better? Maybe, because private companies aren't in for the money, so if you could have an EPA that's privatized, I guess maybe they would actually do better because maybe you could pay them based on how clean the environment is or how people think about the environment. But would that work out well? Because let's say, what if someone else could be hired in the government to a company and tell them that, hey, how about this? You overlook us dumping all this stuff into a river or dumping all this stuff into the forest and you don't say nothing. And they could be dumping all that stuff, and eventually people get sick and hurt from the pollution, and the private company doesn't care because they're like, yeah, we have our money, we don't care. But with public EPA, their loyalty is to the government, and they're overseen by government too. I know the government's not all efficient or all effective at some points, but they still are not going to be that corrupt because they have more accountability than private companies. I know because Private companies are in there for the money, and private companies will probably try to get the most amount of money without caring for the people that much. But private companies also will want to keep the contract too, so it's really hard to tell how each one will function each way. I'm only giving hypothetical situations when I do, and I also basically I'm telling you arguments for both sides. Thank you for watching.